Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Inquisition with the very lovely Jenny is painting. We are halfway through the month, more or less halfway through the month already. We've got one more this week and then one next week. I'm looking forward to the guest on next week as well. Hope you're all well this Wednesday. I'm a bit all over the place only because my first day back and we had Paddy's Day yesterday, so it's a 3-day week and we're all just trying to get over the madness of yesterday. Hey Ryan, how you doing, man? Hope you're well. And hello, First Term Tactics. You are the guest next week. I'm looking forward to having you on, bud. But we're going to get Jenny Paints Minis. Anybody has any questions for Jenny, don't hesitate to throw them in the chat and we can get to them as quickly as we can. Hi Jenny, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm brilliant, man. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us tonight. I
You're
think
welcome.
Papa Nurgle struck us both down last week
Yeah.
with some gifts, which we are always happy to have, but maybe you need to just dial it back on the toxicity of those said gifts that he's given us.
Yeah.
How's your week been so far?
Yeah, not bad. Work's been manic, but other than that, it's been all right.
Yeah, this is as I was saying before you joined there, this is my first day back after I've been off for a few days. So it feels like a Monday, even though it's a Wednesday. And we get 2 more days to the weekend, which is always
Yeah,
good. Which is
that'll be
always good.
nice.
We may as well crack on because Casey usually fights with his son about this time getting son to bed. I don't know if you get tiny kids yourself, but uh,
No.
as a veteran of 4 children, you will never meet a hungrier, thirstier, or a child that wants to tell you their entire day 2 minutes before their bedtime, which is never good. But yeah, so we'll just jump in and we'll get straight onto it. So the first question that we like to ask everybody is pretty much 3 questions in one. What age were you? Who got you into it? And what was the first mini you painted in the plastic track lifestyle that you became accustomed to?
So I only started about 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years in May I started. I used to work for like an eBay reseller of Warhammer.
Cool.
So all my colleagues and that sort of talked me into starting. And then my first minis were flayed ones. So
Oh,
Necrons.
those are things of nightmares. I hate those wee bastards because they've got knives as fingers, and it's
Yeah,
like if you don't glue it in right, it goes right underneath your nail, and it's just
they're
like Japanese
awful.
torture. Oh, they're the worst.
I picked the worst to start with.
Yeah, absolute worst. Hello, cat. Absolute worst minis to build. So, what was it that got you into the Necrons?
I we were opening models at work and I saw them and then somebody told me sort of like the backstory of them and I was like, I need to paint them now.
And that was it.
So, but basically, I my whole thing is I go rule of cool and it's just whatever I like painting, I'll get.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing as well. Is the really cool. But so, what was it because you worked with a Warhammer reseller that got you like you just went full into it?
Yeah, yeah. So I'd never done anything. I've not played the games or anything yet. I've never painted any. And as I was looking at models we were opening, I sort of was looking, going, "Oh, that looks really fun. That looks quite cool." And everyone was like, "Try painting some." So I did, and that was it.
Or try putting together flayed ones with their tiny wee hands and their tiny wee bits, and then
Yeah,
trying to squeeze the body and the head and the arms on at the one point. Oh, I
trying to
don't
get the
know.
head straight and
Oh, I don't know how Dan Jenkins, the old Warhammer pod guys. I don't know how he has managed to. He's a sucker for punishment, I imagine.
oh
Mind
yeah.
you, being a Geordie, he probably is a sucker for punishment. So you went Necrons, and then you became the unofficial Queen of Nurgle. What threw you into the Nurgle way of life?
So I saw a great unclean one, absolutely fell in love with it. And then obviously seeing more and more of the models, I just went, I need to paint this army. I love it.
And how many points are what Nurgle do you have, or Death Guard?
I don't actually know. I haven't like pointed them all up yet, but I've got I think I've got 3 or 4 units of Plague Marines. I've just got I've got most of the models now.
Yeah,
So,
I think I'm pretty much there with everything. The only thing I don't have is a Predator tank,
oh, okay.
but I think I've got everything else. Like I'm halfway through, halfway through. I'm maybe a wee bit more halfway through my Morty. Have you painted Morty yet?
No, he's one I keep looking at and I'm not ready to paint him yet.
I was like that with Typhus, and then I painted my Typhus last year, and then I've now stripped them and repainted them
Oh, okay.
to go with my current scheme. And like
Yeah.
Typhus was like my kind of Everest. I would say so. Would you say that Morty is your kind of Everest?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. He's one of those ones I look at and you see people doing the wings and they've got like eyes on the wings and stuff and it's like I can't do that.
No, I'm going with Andy Farrell from Mediocre Hobbies did. I'm dry brushing them, and
Oh,
then
okay.
I'm glazing Plague Bearer Fresh and Mados Purple. So from the inside of the wings is Plague Bearer Fresh, and then the Mados Purple on the outside, and no,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and here he is there, the man of the hour, Mr. Casey. Yeah, like see when I see people painting like Death's Head moss with faces and all that, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have that sort of attention span, to be honest with you.
No.
There he is there. Look at that beard. Look at that beard. At some point, you look as though you've been kidnapped by the Taliban and you're about to do a video.
No, I'm the kidnapper.
Yeah. Oh, you're that guy, John. Jihadi John. That's who you are.
Yeah, Michael Casey Albritani.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jihadi John.
Apologies as usual for my tardiness. I have a good reason this week. If this is not on your bingo cards, you need to get it on there. I have a property surveyor attending the property tomorrow to value it for my remortgage. So I have to try. I was in the middle of doing some bits and bobs to try and spruce it up and paper over the cracks that I've caused.
See, it's quite convenient how you and Commissar Molotov joined at the same time. We used to like pegging each other.
We're not the same person. Me and Martin are definitely not the same person.
Well, we've yet to see you in the same room. It's like Latoya and Michael Jackson. Nobody ever seen them in the same room at the same time.
It's a fair point. However, I have said to Martin repeatedly, I do need to get him on here because he'd be a good guest for us. So you're on notice. And in fact, he is a teacher and Easter's coming up. So he's got 2 weeks off in which we can pin him down. He's got no choice.
But this isn't about Martin. This is about Jenny and Jenny painting on nurgle.
So I walked in there and you were discussing some painting. I apologise for it.
Yeah, well, just talk about Mortarion and how I kept putting him off, and then I think my wife got me him for Christmas. Shout outs to Big G or Wee Perry G, as just even through the perimenopause, he's like a hot mess. I can safely say that because she's upstairs, because she's just left.
Yeah.
But honestly, Mortarion is so much easier to paint than fucking some of these stupid biological putrefiers and demon princes. He is so it's better, but don't do what I did and just think you know how to put them together. Actually read the instructions, so I had to then get a knife and start chopping bits up because there's bits of cloak that should be on before you put the arms on, and I didn't realise that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I remember a long time ago that I glued together a Space Marine in the wrong order, and you and Simon proper dug me out because I couldn't get the head to fit in, and you were both calling me a dick. You call me all names under the sun. So what goes around comes around now. I've got no sympathy for you.
Yeah, that's true. I bring it upon myself quite a lot, Jenny. You know what I mean? So back to yourself, because instead of me and Casey having a domestic, as we usually sometimes have, and we haven't seen each other for a while. So you're painting Death Guard. What paints do you use? Are you still in the Citadel teak, or have you transcended to bigger and better paints or other paints which are lower in shutter?
I'm still mostly on Citadel. I am branching across to like the Army Paint and Metallics. That's what I'm using for all of the metallics on my Death Guard now. Yeah,
it's weird because so many people like so many different brands of paints for certain things. Like Casey will bang on about pro acrylic white and their titanium white, however it is. He says that's the best white that's ever been white. I prefer nuclear right, from
Green stuff, isn't it?
Green Stuff World. I prefer that. But it's just so weird. I've tried metallic paints from Army Painter. I've tried the gold. I do like the gunmetal one, but see the gold one. I don't like that.
Some of the golds are a bit pants. Like they're
Yeah.
really watery
Yeah.
and just horrible. But the true copper is what I use for all like the trim on my Death Guard, and I think it works really nicely.
I'm going to jump in with a controversial opinion here. I think the copper paints working up to gold are better than using an actual gold paint to start off with, because, like you say, I find the Retributor armors it's okay.
Yeah.
I've got an Army Painter Fanatic Gold, which, like you say, is you take the lid off it and it just pees everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a lovely paint to work with because it does pee everywhere, but it just clogs up so much. And yeah, I don't think I've actually tried any of the Vallejo ones or anything, but I think generally gold is, as a paint, a bit pants.
Yeah, it's really tough to get a good gold paint.
Mm.
I blame Goldmember. I think he
Hey,
took all the gold back in the 90s, early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. I think he's
but
the.
there we go. That leads on nicely to a question we always like to ask of what is actually your favorite specific paint shade?
Oh my god.
Because I've got a
Ooh.
favorite. Doug's got a favorite.
It has to be Death Guard green, but that's because I just use so much of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it covers really nicely.
Yeah, I like Death Guard green. I like green, but see, I chop and change my mind all the time, funnily enough, because I'm undiagnosed with tisms and just a general nuisance. I'm really feeling like yellow ink this now and like using it as a glaze. I'm really
Yep.
fancying that now.
Okay.
I think because I'm using that as part of my as part of my death guards. Like, so I kind of stole Andy Farrell's. Well, I haven't stole. I did steal Andy Farrell's scheme from Mediocre Paints, where he does a base, a contrast plague bearer flesh, and then layers it. There's a heavy Agrax wash, and then slowly layers it up with Death Guard green, Alessian green, and nurgle green. So it's kind of,
Oh, okay.
and then when you put a very washed down yellow ink or contrast, it gives it that kind of putrid yellow look.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm kind of loving yellows just now. So I'm actually trying to figure out a scheme for my new chosen lads.
Ooh.
Thousand boys.
You're jumping on my ship, are you? Of the 1,000.
I did. My mate gave me some Thousand Suns, so I've got like 10 Marines, Rubric Marines. I'm just want to kind of fanny about with them and see what I like. I'm trying to think of schemes that are unusual. But everything I think about, somebody's already done, which is a bit disappointing.
That's the
But
trouble with the hobby as well. You think, oh, I've got this really cool idea, and then you're like, oh, wait, someone else has done it.
yeah, it's like that. It's like that episode in South Park where Butters tries to take over the world. He's like, Simpsons done it.
It is. It isn't me, is it? Though? And like you say, it is kind of hard to come up with something totally brand new and original because, I mean, number one, there are so many others out there doing it, and you can guarantee somewhere someone has had the same idea of you. So far, like I thought when I started painting my Space Marines when I first got back into it, that my scheme was quite boring and that nobody else in the world would be asked to paint grey plastic grey again.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, about 2 years later, I found an account and it's exactly the same scheme, even down to the shoulders being the same. And I was absolutely livid. But then at the same time, I thought, fuck it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. You hang like turning Space Marines into cats, like Meow Marines. Do you know what I mean? But Jenny, I'm going to ask you this question, right?
Okay.
And don't take offence when I ask you this question, right?
Okay.
Because we all know that we're all sponsored by the legends that are Orange Brushes.
Yeah.
Check Inquisition for 10% checkout. But is there any other brushes that you use that you would like use for like metallics or do you just use like dead brushes for metallics and dry brushing?
Yeah, you feel like the heavy lifting.
I've got some Nick Pro brushes that I use for all the like dirty stuff like basing and PVA glue and stuff. And then I've got a Tesseract Minis brush. It's called the little guy, and it's really, really tiny. That's good for doing like eyes and detailing and stuff. So that's my fancy detailing brush. Orange brushes are my main bulk, and then I've got the Nick Pro ones for the not so nice stuff.
And do you find yourself falling into the habit where you use the one brush for everything, and then you
Yeah.
realise after like 4 hours, fuck, I've been using this one brush for like...
Yeah. Yeah. My zero orange brush is my like workhorse brush. I use it for everything.
Yeah.
They are good though, aren't they? I mean, I don't just say this because we're both sponsored by them, Inquisition at checkout, 10% off. But they are decent quality brushes.
They are. And they hold their shape so well.
And they're easy to look after. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
What do you use to wash your brushes and look after your brushes? Because obviously orange brushes don't really have like soap or anything, but what do you use?
I can't remember what the brand is. It's the little beige coloured pot. Is it Masters? Something like that.
Yeah, that one.
That one, yeah. I've got that one.
Yeah,
I love that stuff.
Master's brush cleaner and preserver.
Yeah.
I'm running out of this. I've had these things as well.
They last forever.
Yeah. I bought this when I first got back into doing hobby, which was just before the start of COVID, so 2018, 2019, and it's just that much left.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't paint as probably much as everyone else, but that's nearly 6 years worth of, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, it's a bad business plan. It's a bad business model. Let's buy something that it will take you like 10 years to finally... Yeah. I use shampoo. I use my wife's shampoo, but she's not too happy about it. Yeah, and that's what the boys say. What?
You ain't got enough hair to use shampoo, bruv.
I know, I said my shampoo. I said my wife's shampoo. I said I use my wife's shampoo, but she's not too happy about it.
I didn't say your shampoo. I said you ain't got enough hair to use shampoo. I'm going to get this cut all trimmed tomorrow. Do you want me to send you some in the post?
It depends what hair I'm washing, to be honest with you. But like the boys for orange brushes said that the reason that they haven't done any soap for that is because they use like their wives and girlfriend shampoo. So that's the best thing because it is natural hair, the old sable hair. I mean, why not? It makes sense.
It does.
Jehan likes to lick. I let my cats lick my brushes clean. Well, Jehan, it's a bit early for the naughty talk. Like, what you and your cats do is on your own time.
And I suppose, and this is not a plug, but Head and Shoulders could help your brushes flake free.
True.
If other companies are interested in sponsoring us, this is the level of plug you will receive.
Here's a question, though, right? Because, like, I'm imagining that, Casey, well, you're in your 40s. Yeah. Jenny, I would imagine that you're over the age of 21, just by the glasses alone.
Smooth.
Remember when we were wee, like tiny wee, when we used to go to the bath and all you could smell was Vosine?
I was going to say it's going to be Vosine.
I love that stuff.
Do you still get that?
Yeah, you can still. My mum still uses it.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, it still smells and looks exactly the same.
That weird gold syrup look. Yeah.
It was like the smell of the baths at the weekend. You'd smell the chlorine, and then you'd go into the showers, and it was just like everybody was just getting their head drenched in Vosine.
And you could hear the screams of children. No, Mum, that's too tough. As they get their scalp scoured by it.
All right, Casey, you waving your face at your mum and dad never get separated, and I was my dad's.
I wasn't even that. It was just reliving past traumas because my mum was a swimming teacher, so you would get dragged out of the pool because she was working, and you'd get a beast in the shower to try and get your hair washed. She was a bully.
Vosine, that was
like and so like you say, they're natural hair, so it makes sense to use a product designed for natural hair. You do get a lot of companies out there that will promote, and I'll name Green Stuff well because they've always got a new product for something every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you 9 times out of 10 you don't know what it is. You're just told, someone said, "Have you tried this product?" And because Green Stuff World is sometimes a good cheap alternative. I live in fear for the day that we get Citadel, aka Warhammer paintbrush cleaner, because that stuff will last 10 minutes.
It'll be
Yeah.
it'll be evaporated by the time you open the lid and put it on your.
Yeah.
Be
And
the
it'll
same
probably-
size as the paint pots.
Yeah.
And it will probably clog the lid as well. And yeah.
Hey, Jenny, why have you not played Warhammer yet?
I just haven't got around to it. I keep meaning to, but all of the gaming stores near me that do games and stuff are about sort of 25-30 minutes away, and it's just by the time I've got home from work, got ready and that, had my dinner and then gone to do a game, it's just like. But there's a guy on Instagram called Badger Miniatures, and he lives near one of the stores, so he's offered to teach me if I want to go and play. So
Happy days.
it's
That's
just
a
getting
good-
round to it.
That's the good thing about the community. Like, there's so many people that, like, for people that don't know, and maybe one of your brindle cards, me and Casey haven't actually met each other. Like, we only met each other on Instagram and
Yeah.
Grindr, but that was a different weekend.
Yeah,
But like me and Casey only like met each other like 5-6 years ago through a painting competition, and we
Yeah.
kind of just sparked up a friendship. And Casey's not been able to get rid of me since. You know what I mean?
It's nice. I think it's not even just like through yourself, Dunk, but there's other people that I've made friends with here through Instagram. And it sounds like such a weird thing being in your 40s as a bloke, meeting friends online, because it's something that 17-year-old boys did if you played
Yeah.
Call of Duty, and then or in my day, what was it? You'd finish school and jump on MSN Messenger and start cussing the same people you've spent all day with in school. That's definitely showing your age. MSN Messenger. I could have said AOL to be even older, but I didn't want
Oh, that was my first email address, was AOL.
to. There's a podcast my wife was listening to today with some people from Coronation Street in it, and they were all cussing each other, saying, "Hey, you're so old, you've got an AOL email address," and it's still hotboy420xx@aol.com and stuff like that. And you're just sitting there thinking, I swear I've got a Hotmail account that still sounds like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never grow up. But
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I think with respect to like playing the game, it's just go for it.
Yeah. I think when we get back from holiday, I'll arrange it and go and learn how to play.
Oh, the way you off to on holiday?
We're going to France.
Oh, still French people, man. I hate France.
My other
That's
half's dad lives there, though.
What bit of
Okay.
France?
No, English.
Mm.
What bit of France? Because some bits of France I think are quite nice. Others I would not touch with a barge pole. But that's
It's
just
sort of mid France, close to like Nantes, where the airport is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not far from there. Really nice.
yeah. I think with France, the more rural the area, the nicer it is.
Yeah, he lives in
Bit
like I think the village he lives in, the local school there's got like 12 kids that go to it. Like that small. It's really nice.
Yeah,
That's like fucking Donegal and Ireland. Like, there's like a school where like 5 kids go in, they're all related.
and they've
Yeah.
all got the one same teacher who teaches them everything.
And the teacher's her mum or something.
Yeah, she also runs the post office, and
Aye,
but no,
pretty much.
I think. Well, we've gone off topic way early here, but
Oh yeah.
I like certain parts of England for that, and Scotland and Wales and
Yeah.
various other places, because there's little untouched gems, isn't there, everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's too eager going to cities all the time. No, just
Yeah,
go
I
to
don't get the obsession with going to a city. Like if someone goes to me, "Oh, we're going to London tomorrow," I'm like, "Oh no, I can't do it. I don't like it." Because I was born in the countryside. Well, I live in the countryside. I was born sort of in a really small city. So
yeah, it's
What were you classed as a small city?
Salisbury.
Never heard of it.
Salisbury's lovely.
Oh, Salisbury. Oh, I've
Yeah.
been to
that's like-
Salisbury Plain.
I was going to
But
say, you've been to Salisbury at some point at being
Yeah,
ex
I have like getting chased by tanks in Salisbury Plain and all that nonsense. Yeah.
I've told you
I've
my
got to say-
story of Salisbury Plain, so you know.
Huh?
I told you my story of Salisbury Plain, haven't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
But my granddad, when he served in the forces, was based down that way in the Wiltshires. So, like, we used to go down that way every now and again and sit
Yeah.
at the wall, and lovely, lovely place. I love it.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's probably the only nice part of England, apart from the motorway up to Scotland. It's probably the best bit of England.
What, the M6? Are you mad? Go through Crewe.
Well, you still got to get. It takes you to Scotland, though. Once you see that "Welcome to Scotland," it's like, oh.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm like that when I see Welcome to Croydon. I get a little bit of a sigh of relief, but that's a weird one. Anyway, let's get back on topic.
Yeah. So does your like your better half, your partner, your gimp or whatever, your person living arrangement you have, do they participate in the Warhammer, or is it just solely your thing?
He paints, not as often as I do.
I honestly
He
thought
just
you were going to say there, not as good as me. To have yet to have somebody just go, you know
no,
what, my partner paints, and they're
no.
absolutely shit.
It's because he's a big video gamer. If he's not playing something on the PlayStation, or like now he sat downstairs playing Pokopia. So if he's not doing something like that, he'll grab the paints out, and he's doing Thousand Suns as well.
And who
That's my best friend.
did you get him in? Did you get him involved in it, or was
Yeah.
it? Did you?
Yeah, I got him into it.
Now, here's an interesting thing then, right? Because me and Dunk always ask this question when we've got a guest on, like as like we obviously there's demographics. This hobby is male dominated,
Oh yeah.
and we always ask the married chaps, like long-term relationship guys that we get on, you know, when did you first introduce your partner to the fact that, oh hey, I paint little toys? Was it something that you had on display from the off? Was it something that, you know, you've hid and then broke out every now and again, or was it
No,
something that
we've actually been together longer than I've been painting. So
okay,
I started. It was like 2 years ago that I started. So, and we've been together coming up 4.
oh
Oh,
So
love young dream.
yeah, but
And what was his reaction then when you went? Do you know what? I'm starting to play Plastic Soldiers. What was his reaction when he was
he was
like,
like, "Yeah, go for it."
blokes
But
are easier, aren't they? It's just like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, go on then. Because obviously, if I'm sat painting, he's sat playing Baldur's Gate or something, and
But then it's also nice that you've both got hobbies that you can just go away and
yeah,
give yourself a little bit of time to away from each other. But then also, if he breaks out the paints when you're painting, it's also nice to do something together,
yeah,
which I think is a missed opportunity a lot of the time in this sort of
yeah.
sphere of what we do, isn't it? There's a lot
Yeah.
of
A lot of people go off and sit on their own and do it, and don't have someone else to talk to about it. So
yeah, like me and the missus, like she sits and crochets in the living room and I paint in the living room, and we don't speak to each other. It's absolute bliss. We'll send each other. We'll send like, even though we're like, maybe sitting like 2 feet away from each other, we'll still send each other Instagram messages or WhatsApp messages about
yeah,
getting gifs or what, instead of just verbalizing it. We're just like messaging each other because we're weird like that.
the good thing about painting though is you can completely switch off. Like, especially if you've got like a social job or something, you can just sit and hyper focus on painting and not have to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
if you talk to someone all day, talk to people all
Yeah,
day, the last thing you want to do on an evening is talk to more people.
yeah.
Even if
So yeah,
even if you love them dearly.
Oh yeah,
Let's word it
person you
that
want
way.
to talk to. The last person you want to speak to is your partner. Like, nah, you're all right. And is he going to maybe start playing? Would you start learning to play it together, or
he's bought us because we're the first game we're going to learn is Spearhead. So he's bought himself a Nighthaunt Spearhead, and I've obviously got my Nurgle one. So we're going to do that.
Yeah, AOS, I've been told, is a nicer system to learn and pick up from the off because it's not as
Yeah,
bloated as 40k.
yeah.
The
I've
spear,
heard it's 40k is quite hard because there's so many more rules than there is in like Spearhead and stuff. So we thought we'll start easy.
see? I would disagree with that, right? Because I've only been playing, I've only been doing Warhammer since 2020, right? Just before lockdown happened. That's when I get my first. I get the No Fear box. I also bought the starter set and I misread the label and it came in French. And then I sent a strongly worded email to Whaling Games, and the guy just responded back saying, "Mate, you ordered it in French." And then I had to send an apology saying, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I can't read. I'm an idiot." But I actually found the rules are fine. It's more the terminology I found difficult to wrap my head around. Like sustained 1, melter 2, plasma 53, and all that nonsense. I
I
found
get
that
that.
more difficult to remember than the actual rules. The rules, I felt the rules were, maybe to them coming into it brand new, the rules were simple. I thought the rules were quite all right.
I think,
Obviously,
yeah, I understand that. I think it gets to a point though when every unit's got its own unique thing. You're just sort of like, it's another thing to remember. It's another thing to remember.
Yeah.
I think with some of the spearhead stuff, especially because of the way, I think the way they've done Age of Sigmar, especially like as opposed to 40k, it's more acceptable to turn up and, hey, let's play spearhead. Whereas if you turn up to a place and say, can we play a combat patrol at 40k, you'll get, well, hang on, why haven't you got a 2,000 point army? Why haven't you got this terrain set? Why aren't you? Yeah. So I think that's just the way one of it is focused as being hyper competitive and the other one's just a little bit more relaxed. I won't say casual, it's just a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
Plus,
and then
the LOS minis, as we've said on here before, don't come nicer.
yeah. So this is the point where I think we've warmed you up enough. We've asked some nice questions. Now we're going to ask you the real nitty gritty questions.
Okay.
Which is why we're all here. So when you and Mr. Jenny are chilling on a Saturday night, there's no computer games getting played, you're watching Ant and Dec Saturday Night Takeaway, or you're watching reruns of the No Edmonds House Party.
Pressure.
What crisp are you munching on? What is your crisp of choice? Old or new crisp? Because we had somebody that mentioned 2 weeks ago that they liked the old lamb and mint Walker Sensations.
Okay.
And then they found them in B&M or some stupid shop last week, so he was well happy.
Yeah.
What is your crisp and flavour of choice?
Salt and vinegar Pringles are a big one. I love them.
Oh, well, they just melt your mouth.
Oh, I love it. Anything salt and vinegar, I will pick up and eat easily.
Are you a glutton for punishment with those Pringles? Because they just basically melt the lining of your mouth off.
I've finished them before and can't feel my lips because I've eaten a whole tube of them. And
yeah,
it's kind of like feeling how Hicks felt at the end of Aliens when the alien spits acid in his face.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
they taste nice.
It's the sign of a good salt and vinegar. If it isn't turning your mouth
inside out. Yeah, if it's not ripping your mouth apart, it's a bad salt and vinegar.
When you're chewing the crisp and you're going, is that the lining of my mouth? Is that my gums that I'm chewing on? Because this crisp is taking forever and it's a bit sinewy.
Is that vinegar I can taste, or am I just bleeding?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't have to go to the dentist. All that plaque has been burned away. Now, when you're washing down your acidic crisps, what would you like to wash them down with? What would be your alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage of choice?
Non-alcoholic, it's Coke Zero. It's pretty much all I drink. And if it was alcoholic, generally wine.
Oh, red or white?
Rosé.
Oh, that's the both worlds. Is it chilled? How chilled have you got your rosé though?
Oh, really chilled. As chilled as you can get it.
So I don't know what I'm talking about. All I know is you've got to put rosé in the fridge.
Yeah.
What is it with rosé wine? Why is that? I mean, what is it with rosé wine?
It's generally a bit fruitier. So, for me, red wine and white wine taste like vinegar to me, which you'd think I'd like, being a salt and vinegar person, but I don't like them. So rosé is really nice and fruity, and it's smooth and easy to drink.
So when say you're having your wee Noel Edmonds and Bob Monkhouse party, right? Because let's got to remember, Bob Monkhouse was a great. Remember he did that bingo show?
Yeah.
That was a good show on BBC One, right? I remember it from when
Stop that, Bob fucking Monkhouse.
Bob's Full House it was called. Bob's Full House it was called. Would you like a wee cheese board with your rosé wine? Would you be
Yeah.
what would be your cheese of choice?
This is new territory.
Stilton.
See, we're getting sophisticated when she mentioned rosé wine. You know what I mean? Like, if she just said Buckfast, then there would have been no questions about cheese.
Yeah. That's
But
it. You're a
Full
highbrow guest.
charcuterie board now.
Yeah.
You're a highbrow guest mentioning rosé, so we've got up our fucking game.
So we have to go down the cheese route. So a nice Stilton.
Yeah, I like a nice Stilton or a mature cheddar.
Oh, yeah.
And what is your cracker of choice?
Jacobs.
Always
Cream
Jacobs.
practice. Always
be
Jacobs.
Jacobs. Any others are just fake.
Here's a wild
Fake
one.
crackers.
Are you also expanding your board out with a few digestive biscuits and grapes and stuff?
Yeah.
Again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I've just seen it happen.
No, grapes and cheese is one of the best combinations ever.
I've never had grapes and cheese, but I've seen
so
people.
good.
I just don't understand the whole grape thing. I suppose it's like
Sweetness of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose it's like Richard Inferno Miniatures when he said that he likes to have Quaver crisp sambos with sour cream on them. And to be fair, it sounds manky, and then I tried it. It was actually quite nice.
Yeah. I'm the type of person that dips like my McDonald's fries in my milkshake, though. So.
Oh, that's acceptable. That's just ice cream.
Yeah.
And it's the only time, especially when the ice cream machine's working, you've got to take advantage of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of that, but at the end of the day, they all end up in your stomachs. So
Yeah.
What would be a milkshake? What would be a milkshake of choice?
so a good one.
Banana.
Banana. Now, does that mean that you actually like eating the fruit banana? Because there's people that like the taste of bananas, sweets and milkshakes and shit, but hate bananas.
No, I love bananas. I like foam bananas. I like banana milkshake. But
First time tactics, we will get onto you next week with your baked brie. There should only be one thing that's baked, and that's camembert, not brie. But we'll bring you up. We'll bring that up with you and your Canadianisms next week.
This is proper highbrow material now for us. This is like expanded our horizons massively.
Wait a minute. Graham's coming out with some. I think he's just pressing random words. I think he's done one of those things where you type a word in like double, and then you just press what's the middle word.
Is he using ChatGPT again to send us messages?
I think so. You just put in double espresso and vanilla, and then dip your fries.
Oh, that's the thing. Mix a McDonald's double espresso into your vanilla milkshake, and it makes it really nice. Apparently.
Like, what do they call it? An affogato? Is that the sort of coffee? Yeah. Jesus, I understand things now. And Martin's wife does the same. There we go. Cheap affogatos. I don't think I'll get my wife to do that, but
I might have to try it next time I go.
Yeah, so now you're all just going madness. Like, I don't like coffee that much, so I can't imagine ruining a good milkshake with coffee.
It'd be like eating a bag of Rebels and then you get the coffee one. The bag of Rebels is just ruined.
Yeah.
I like the coffee ones.
There's always
right. All right. Folks, that's us for another week, folks. Tune in next week. This is going to be a shorter podcast than fucking quick stuff. By 2 minutes.
I'm so sorry.
No, I just don't. Like, what Sadist decided, you know what? Like, we'll put minstrels in with no shells. We'll put in a random orange one. You know what? What we'll do is we'll make the smallest sweet a coffee one just to really fuck them up. And we'll throw in a toffee one because then they really don't know what the coffee one is.
Yeah, that's the problem. It is that. It's like you pick it up and you don't know whether it's toffee, orange, or coffee, and you're just like, you can tell the M&Ms because they're huge. And what's the other one? Raisin. You can tell them because they're always funny shaped.
Yeah.
And then you get the minstrels without the shell, which is just chocolate, which is fine. But I like a wee bit of crunch.
Yeah, it's just a galaxy button otherwise, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it is the roulette of it, isn't it? But that's what puts me off Rebels. I would have liked, if they didn't have the coffee one, I might be all right.
You still get Rebels?
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah,
seen a video 2 weeks ago. Remember Drifters? Oh, they were brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember them actually.
And Spirals, they were Cadbury should bring them back.
But they the
Chocolate
ones that
cocoa.
were like the cream filling in the middle, the spiral thing. Or
No,
was
it
that
was just
the
solid.
twirl?
It was like a solid flake
Ah, right, yeah.
or a solid twirl. It was like a twirl, but it was solid. You'd break your
Ooh.
teeth in it.
Mm. So, you got your cheese board laid out. You got your bag of Rebels. You got your glass of rosé. You're sitting down. Let's say Noel's house party finishes. Mr. Blobby's kicked the fucking camera over as usual, ruining the broadcast. What films are we putting on? Are we talking action, horror, sci-fi, something in between, a little rom-com maybe? I don't know. What do you? Oh, fucking hell! Don't knock the camera over. What are we watching to unwind on an evening or a weekend?
It varies. If we're watching a film, it's usually like action. I like horror, but he doesn't, so it's not very often I can watch horror anymore, but I like horror. But we mostly watch just YouTube.
Ah,
If we're watching telly, we just watch like gaming channels on YouTube and stuff.
okay. So what sort of gaming channels are we talking about? Are we watching Let's Plays? Are we talking walkthroughs or something
It's
between?
more just like comedy. There's a group of people that we watch. They just prat around on like GTA and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's quite funny.
You know what? I used to dabble with some of that with some of my mates back in the day. We tried to, like, one of our guys wanted to launch a YouTube account, and a few of us were like, "Yeah, all right, we'll do it with you." And it was just screen recording ourselves playing games. With
Yeah,
a microphone set up, and all we would do was cussing each other and taking the piss out of each other all the
yeah,
way through. It was good fun, but we sort of run out of material to use. Grand Theft, we were going to do Grand Theft Auto, but it just went a bit crazy and we never bothered.
yeah. It's like these guys got famous. They were doing all like the glitches they found on the maps.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
they'd
Cool.
spend like the whole session like trying to fling their car across the map and stuff. But then they moved on to things like they played Gary's Mod
Yeah.
and all the stupid little games that come out and stuff. So
Now, here's one, because I saw this advertised the other day, and I tell you what, for a game, it looks fucking amazing. But because also you mentioned you're a horror fan, there's a Hellraiser game coming out,
oh
and it looks mustard. If you've not seen the trailer for it, go give it a look because it
okay,
is
I'll have a look.
spot on. And I would probably like if your partner's not too au fait with the horror, watching it, maybe playing it might.
He's okay with horror games. Like he likes Resident Evil and he's played Outlast and stuff. So
Yeah,
Just
that
don't
might
tell
be a
them.
good gateway. That might be a good gateway to get into the old
we'll have to
Hellraiser
try
film.
it.
Which, let's face it, weren't really in the 90s when they first come out. They looked like they were horrific, and then as you grow up with them, you just realise they're just a bit shit.
Yeah, basically.
What is your favourite horror film?
Saw. I like the Saw films. All of them.
What one?
All
Do you
of
have
them.
one is there one that you prefer watching over the other ones?
I can't remember which one it was. There was one that had Chester Bennington in it.
Oh, that was like the
Was it
fifth
like?
one or sixth one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
was
got
late.
Because
glued
he
to
was,
the chair in the car.
I was like super glued to the
Yeah.
chair.
I like that one.
Mine was actually the second one
That one was
because
good.
in all the traps there was an alternate way they could actually get the
Yeah.
injections. But if you only realise that if you watched like the commentary and the bonus DVD stuff. Like there's one of the traps where the girl puts her hands in to try and get the injection out, but all she had to do was just like lift the box and take it and put it down. She didn't have to put her hands in through and get her arms trapped in. I think that in every game there was an easy way to get the injection without them actually getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Which was quite smart because it was like a good idea.
Yeah. Because not many people think about it. You panic and think it's going to be the
100%.
hardest way.
Yeah. It's not that kind of scan in the area. What is the one horror film that freaks you out the most?
Not so much because of the horror, but I think it was it Hills Have Eyes?
Yeah.
I can't watch it.
The new one.
No, the original
Oh,
one.
the original one was
The
creepy.
original one's so messed up.
But they were more
There's a
creepy
certain
looking
scene in
than.
it. Yeah, there's a certain scene in it. I have to turn it off. I can't watch it.
Is there a film that you can't watch, Casey? No matter how much you've tried, is there any particular film that you haven't been able to watch?
No. I wish there was, but I think sometimes if it's, I don't know, if I sit down to watch a film, my brain engages and it's like, I have got to see this through the whole thing. Maybe it's that, like you say, an undiagnosed thing, but no matter how good or bad that film turns out to be, I will sit there and watch it. And if it is terrible, I will be sitting there the whole way through, like, why the fuck am I watching this? But we do it. I would say that same question, that The Hills Have Eyes, it's a weird story, but my best mate, one of my best mates, his parents went to see that in the 70s in the cinema. And at the time, his mum was pregnant with their first child, who is his older brother. And it got to the scene where it really goes down and they start attacking everyone and they kidnap the baby. And my best mate's mum, heavily pregnant, fit to burst, has screamed out in the cinema, "No, not the baby!" Just like my mate's dad sitting there, like, so the last time I take you to the fucking cinema, and I don't think I ever went back. And that was in the 70s.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's when you're watching a film like that, sometimes things stick out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one film that I've never been able to watch, and even the music, I can't even listen to music. And the reason why I'm so scared of swimming, Jaws, can't watch it.
Fair.
No, I got to make it like that. He loves Jaws, but he won't go swimming.
Can't swim. Even if the theme music comes on, I start sweating. Like, I've watched like Deep Blue Sea and Meg, but see Jaws, no man, I just can't. And I'm petrified of water, that's why I can't swim. I'm always convinced that there's going to be.
You get the ferry between Belfast and Scotland.
Mate, I can't even go. I hate going over bridges in case like the bridge collapses and then there's a shark just happens to be.
Well, like that film Shark in Venice, so someone jumps off a bridge and the shark just pops up and eats them.
My worst nightmare, right? This is my worst nightmare, is if sharks and wasps were managed to like cross breed.
God.
And you get like a flying shark or a flying, well, obviously you get flying wasp, but you get wasps that can
by a bear holding a shark. Oh, fuck off.
Like, or if a wasp was able to swim, oh, I'd be fucked. Honestly, like when my son was like 8 weeks old, me and the missus were out at one of the local parks, and a wasp flew into his pram. He was on his own. It's literally ran away. Rather him than me. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't know. Yeah. I've got a life to live. Like, he had a good 8 weeks. Do you know what I mean? That was it. Flailing about like a big mutant. I was about to say Jessie, but I don't think you can say it in this day and age, in case you offend some woman called Jessie. But yeah.
So on the horror, actually, this is a good one, right? And this relates to that podcast I heard earlier that my wife was listening to. And given it was the Oscars recently, Sinners did very, very well. Have you both watched it?
No.
Yes. I went to cinema to see it, and I actually thought it was overrated.
So, are you at least aware of it, Jenny, before we sort of talk about it? Or okay, I'll talk to you off screen about it. Then,
I was going to say you can talk about it. It's one of those I've not heard anything about. It was like, I'm probably not going to watch it.
I'd say, you know what? I would say give it a watch.
Okay.
I don't know whether it deserves the accolades it got.
I don't think it does.
It was a decent enough film, but
it was a poor man's Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Apart from it, there was nobody dancing semi-naked with snakes, but there is vampires, and it did. What's good about it is that, like, throughout vampire like shit, they've always stuck. Even like True Blood, Buffy, that is a film called Vampires. They always stick to that. You can't let me in unless I ask permission to come in. They've always stuck, like, if you watch any, I don't think I've seen a vampire film yet where they always haven't stuck to that one rule where vampires just can't. And maybe apart from 28 Days a Night, don't know if they can do that in that film. But like in more or less every vampire film that I've seen, they've always stuck to that. They can't just walk in your house without you allowing them in.
Yeah, I think this is good with respect to horror tropes. Like, I think there's two films that do that very well. Fright Night, the Colin Farrell version. I don't know if you've both seen that. Because he's the creepy when he's hanging around by the door, isn't he? He's giving it the, what you got going on in here? Well, this is a nice house, leaning against the door, being all smouldering and sexy Colin Farrell. And then the other one is the I can't remember what country it was, what the nation was, but the two kids let the right one in.
Oh, yeah.
That was an amazing film, and that did that trope very well. And actually, this is a good follow-on. What is your favourite horror trope and your least liked horror trope?
Oh, God.
Because there's lots of them out there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's so many now. I like the old school slasher. The gorier the better. I'm into the gory stuff. It's the stuff that's got all the, I don't know how you can say it on Instagram, but all the sexual assaulty type essay stuff. I can't deal with any of that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So you wouldn't want to watch what really happened on Event Horizon with that just video clip that they show? You wouldn't want to see the full version of that?
I don't think anyone would, to be fair.
I would want to see it.
They did film it. They did fucking film it, the dirty fuckers. But yeah, I get that, because I think there's that little bit of elements of real life can creep into it, and it's stuff that you may not want to see.
Yeah. It's is it the girl with the dragon tattoo that had a really graphic?
Yeah.
And another film I can't watch because I just had to turn it off. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I think there are things that they do to make you uncomfortable on purpose, and it does. Sometimes it just doesn't need it. No. But like I say, in my mind, because I get into that, I'm watching a film, I've got to watch it. I've started it, so I'll finish. And sometimes you do come out of it wishing you didn't. But then at the same time, I think one of my favourite ones is, and Scream did it really well, it was the play on, here the rules of horror films, this is what you've got to do to survive.
Yeah.
And you can see there is that format in a lot of them, and a lot of them nail it perfectly.
Yeah.
And also, just Scream 1 is probably one of my favourite slasher films of all time.
Such a good film.
I haven't seen the new one.
No, I haven't.
Did you ever watch Dog Soldiers?
I love that film so much.
Great film. Pertwee's amazing in that.
Yeah, he is.
There's a couple of standout lines for me in that film. One of them is where the Geordie boy is getting annihilated by one of the werewolves and goes, I hope I give you the fucking shits. And that's a great line. And it's the bit where it's revealed that, if anybody's not watched it, spoilers, but it's a bit where you realise that the girl helping them is actually a werewolf, and she goes, it's that time of the month, and I'm like, oh, that's a great line. And she slowly turns into a werewolf,
Such
and you're
a
like,
good film.
oh, that's a good. It's such a great film. It's such an underrated horror British film as well. It should definitely be up there, a film that people should watch, because it's, as you say, Pertwee's brilliant in it. The boy for Trainspotting is pretty good in it. The man that was in Game of Thrones is a good bad bastard in it as well.
Yeah, I think British. I've noticed this as well with respect to British films generally. There's a sense that we do things grimmer.
Yeah.
And with respect to that, Warhammer, Grim Darkness, and that sort of shite, we nail that. Whereas Hollywood's all nice and polished.
Yeah.
There's always this weird little dirty edge to a lot of the films that come out of the British film industry, and I don't think anyone does it as best. And it always works really well with horror films, war films.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I would call it probably horror / thriller. It's a bit psychological. Dead Man's Shoes nails it perfectly as well. That film, that was an uncomfortable watch the first time I watched it. I had to watch Caddyshack afterwards to cheer myself up. No word of a lie. Me and my mate were watching it fucking hell, we're depressed. Put Caddyshack on, that'll make us happy again. It's 3 a.m, we're watching Caddyshack dancing around. We're happy again. But that is an uncomfortable watch, actually. But
I mean, it's 28 Days Later is a great shout for that because, like,
Mm.
it's just, there's just no hope.
Yeah.
Bleak. Yeah. Yeah. I know we talked about it a lot of ages ago. Fred's as a film came out in the 80s, still relevant today, and it is horrible to fucking watch, and no one does that like us.
No.
No.
Support British films. There you go.
Is there a horror franchise you would like to appear in?
Oh.
Kind of like when like Samuel L. Jackson said back in TFI Friday that he would love to appear in a Star Wars film, even if he was just a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Is a franchise, a horror series of films that you would like to, even if you're just like a dead extra, just lying there, that you would like to appear in yourself?
If I could go for an old one, I'd love to go into the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I just want to meet Robert Englund. I think he's great. I love him.
He's solid, isn't he? Like,
Yeah.
that was a film as a kid that always looked like it freaked me the fuck out. But when
Yeah,
you go growing up, you realise,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's the scene where he's walking down the alley and his arms like grow and he's like scratching the walls. That scene freaks me out for some reason.
But yeah, I think that is. I'd love to just be a zombie in a George Romero film.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Just, I know, I can't. One of the more recent ones, he had Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Zombies, but just pop my head or something. I don't care. Just if I'm there for a split second.
It'd be fun to film, though.
It would be fun to film, yeah.
For me, definitely not Jaws. Maybe fucking Resident Evil. I mean, I fucking love the Resident Evil films. It's like one of my. It's what I think it's just. It is exactly. It's just like turn your brain off, watch Mila Jovovich just wanchang people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I fucking love the Resident Evil films. Like, even like the first one, they did stupid wee things like when they go through that security system and then they come back and all the bodies are gone. It's like showing you that's what happened in the game. Like when you went back to a certain area in the game, like the bodies were gone. Those wee things I love. Like I love seeing because it pays homage to that kind of. Or even the Saw films, be one of the junkies that has to get like the reverse bear trap on them or something. Like, I love the Saw films as well. Like they're
so good.
Anyone, I don't. I'll be honest with the Saw films. I watched the first one. I figured out the first Saw film in like 10 minutes.
Ooh.
No, I wasn't even like my mates for ages. Right, I don't know if you guys get this, but when people bang on so much about something being really good and you have to watch it, it kind of puts you off watching. So by the time I finally got bullied into watching Saw, I was sitting there and I was at a mate's house and him and his girlfriend were having an argument. So I got left with her mate. It was horrific because we're both sitting there. She didn't want to be watching this film and trying to babysit me while they were rowing. And I looked at her and I went, "You don't have to sit here if you want. I bet it's that guy there." And she went, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "All right, cool. I'll just watch it for the madness." And she went, "Okay." And I was like, "You don't have to sit with me." She went, "Okay, thanks," and walked off. I was like, "Result." But it was just like, it wasn't that I could see it being predictable, but again, it's because you're getting all the hype. It's a great film. And I had Sixth Sense ruined for me because I don't know what the 11 o'clock show on Channel 4 years ago. Do you remember it? Yeah. I hadn't seen Sixth Sense. Like, I was too young to go to cinema to see it. I didn't try and skip in or anything because no one I knew would want to go watch it. But a lot of the adults knew, great film, fucking watch it. All right. And I was watching that show one night and the host of it turned around and went, "Oh yeah, that's as predictable as when you find out Bruce Willis." And I was like, "Oh, I ain't got to watch it now."
Right.
Arsehole. That happened to my mate at the exact same time that probably happened to you, and he had been avoiding watching The Sixth Sense. And that's when he found out. And I remember he's dead now, like, but he had the swearing from his room, man. He was fucking fuming. Because we always try to ruin it for him, but like try and like guide it into conversation. and you'd always like kind of figure it out, but they just went, that's right, when you find out Bruce Willis is dead, and
She,
he's like,
she was
oh, for fuck's sake, he was raging. That's what I found like with Sinners, that because it was hyped up so much, I was expecting this amazing vampire noir 20s 30s film, because I love the 20s and 30s as a kind of era. I think was probably one of my favorite eras. And then you realise it's like, oh, I was just so disappointed. I think it's like when people like bummed up Bird Box or what was that other one?
the one where they weren't allowed to make the noise, or the one where they had to cover their eyes.
A Quiet Place. Well, Bird Box is the one with the covered eyes, and A Quiet Place, they were so bombed up that they were like defining films. And like, don't get me wrong, I fucking loved A Quiet Place and Bird Box, but what did they see? What did they see? Did the monsters in A Quiet Place kill all the birds and all the dogs? Did they just kill everything? Like, how good was our hearing? And then when they brought out that A Quiet Place year one, or like the very first one, it's like, I'd like to have explored how they realised that it was sound that was trapping people instead of them just staying like trapped and go, oh, it's sound. Like, it had to be a better story than that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
But, sorry.
Let's come off horror films. Obviously, you did also mention action films.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel like growing up in the 80s and 90s, you were either Arnie, or you were Stallone, maybe Willis, maybe someone else. Who defined action films? Who is the best action film actor or actress?
So I didn't really, I never liked Rambo or Terminator or anything like. I didn't like any of them. RoboCop's my top one.
Good choice.
I love RoboCop.
I suppose if you've got that horror film love for gore, RoboCop is there for that, isn't it? Because it's just obscene.
Yeah, like before he gets turned into RoboCop, there's that scene where they've got him pinned to the floor. It's like, that's disgusting. I love it.
Oh, difficult watch when the guy gets covered in the toxic waste and then the van hits him.
See, that makes me laugh. Even when I was a kid, that used to make me laugh.
It's just, how bad is it that he's covered in gunk and a van hits him and he just explodes? He doesn't get squished. He just pops like a
just pops over the windscreen.
But it's even that split second where he's all covered and like everything's dripping off him.
Going, oh.
It's horrible.
I think I need to watch RoboCop. I don't remember that bit.
Oh, it's one of the defining things.
It's like right near the end.
Yeah, you got the bit in the beginning, like you said, Jenny, where Murphy gets wasted because there's no other way of describing it. He gets obliterated. Then a lot of the middle bit is just, I'd buy that for $1. Here's the montage of them policing. And then it's the big battle at the end.
The big battle at the end.
Is RoboCop the one where the wee boy's a bastard? Or is that RoboCop 2 or 3?
That's 2.
2 is the little shit kid.
Yeah, and the robot on drugs.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen RoboCop then. I don't think I've seen the first one.
Don't watch the remake. The remake's terrible.
I didn't mind the remake.
Oh, there was one scene in it that I liked where he's in the warehouse fighting the robots. Only scene in the film I liked. The rest of it was shit.
I think they just tried to make it more of a film about a police android, and here's some social commentary because that's what the world is nowadays.
Yeah.
And actually, I suppose they did have the social commentary of the 80s in the original one.
Yeah.
But it was just different, I think.
I think they tried it. They family friendly it too much as well.
But I do like Joel Kinnaman as an actor.
He is good. I don't know. There was something about it. There was too much that was different, and then the suit being completely black was like, why?
I didn't mind that either. That's weird because I am such a purist.
The original suit's iconic, though.
It is, and you could see where they took some bits of inspiration from it. The visor, the red light was a bit different, but the actor was much better than the film.
Do you think it fell into the trap that Dredd managed to avoid? Because when you read that Dredd with Carl Urban, that was brilliant. It was like a totally different story.
Yeah.
Like, and when they had like the corrupt judges and all that as well, obviously I've never read Judge Dredd as a comic, so I'm imagining there was probably some comic nonsense. But that's a film that deserved a sequel.
Yeah,
Mm.
it
Yeah,
was so
and
good.
there was another one recently, and I just thought of it, and now it's gone. Oh, that was a bit of a remake, and it deserved to be like, The Running Man. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, the Running Man 80s Arnie film is different to the book that it's the source material of, and the new film was more in line with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
But it just, I don't think it. I think the actors that were in it were better than the script and the directing that they were
yeah.
getting. And I actually didn't mind The Running Man, the new one. I
No.
thought it was all right.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. As I said, kind of stuck a wee bit closer to the source material, apart from Arnie's one, which was just basically his name and basically a game show where you're running away from hunters. And that was really the only similarities from the actual the source material.
Yeah, but I still like that. I still like the eight. I've got a lot of love for a lot of the 80s films because it's what I grew up with.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, like I've definitely got my rotation. The Running Man, Commando, Predator, Bloodsport, and then pretty much any film that Jean-Claude Van Damme won was basically just a remake of Bloodsport.
Bloodsport's great.
I mean, that's a great film, even though your man Dux is a total lying lunatic. It's still a great film.
I had the wicked song. I can't remember all the words, but the chorus was basically "Kumite, Kumite, Kumite," and there's the montage and all the fights. It was sick. Going back to RoboCop quickly, there's two things I've just very quickly remembered. The first one was RoboCop 3 is a piece of shit.
yes,
Because it's got ninjas in it. He fucking flies. It's just they lost the plot by RoboCop 3. And it just, at one point, doesn't he have an arm cannon as well because they chop his hand off? It was
but it wasn't Peter Weller in that one. I
It
think
wasn't.
Peter Weller only did 1 and 2, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Because I think the guy that did 3 also did the TV series afterwards, which for a Saturday afternoon light entertainment show, the TV series wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And
But how you can make something that's like blood and guts then like
Toned down
convert
for
that to
family.
a TV show?
You got to sell it for kids and toys. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But
Oh well, like we covered that before, like, because like none of us were allowed to watch Alien, but we all had Alien toys for a
Yeah.
film that we were never allowed to watch until we were like 13, or you had a babysitter that just didn't give a fuck.
no, it's basically my mum. She used to just let me watch whatever as long as she could watch it as well.
Yeah, my parents were saying there was only one film they kicked me out. Because we used to have a shop down the road from us that used to like rent videos and DVDs.
Glory days. Oh,
But we used to be able, because my sister worked there, we used to get all the new stuff before everybody else did. So we got all the new films. But she came home with one called The Cell that had Jennifer Lopez in it.
oh yes.
And literally the first scene is some guy hanging himself up to above a dead body to do, And my mum and dad were like, they turned it off and were like, no, get out, you can't watch this. I was like, oh.
It's funny though, because I remember that for Poltergeist and The Shining.
Yeah.
I was allowed to watch Poltergeist until the bit where the stake appears. And I was kicked out of the room for 5 minutes and I was allowed back in. I could watch the tree eat the child.
Oh, yeah.
That was fine. But the moment the steak started crawling across the table, and then when I was older and I watched that bit, I was like, is that it?
Yeah.
The kid getting eaten by the tree is scarier, and the dead bodies in the swimming pool is scarier. But that, and I want to say, in the bit in The Shining where he goes into the room and there was a woman in a bathtub.
Yeah.
Those two.
I remember watching Beverly Hills Cop. I think I was like 14 at the time, and like, my mum was like, let us watch Beverly Hills Cop. I think it was like a boyfriend at the time was wanting us to watch it, right? And the bit where they go into the strip club, I was made to leave the living room for like that 1 minute. It took me longer to get out of the living room, getting shouted at as I'm trying to see a bit of tit than it was the actual scene. But yeah, seeing Axel shoot 50 guys up is fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But seeing a bit of tit, no, out.
It's such a weird thing, isn't it, when we look back on it as adults, the stuff that our parents would let us get away with and wouldn't.
But a funny story to tell, right, before I forget, right, me and the missus have been watching Animal Kingdom. If anybody's watching it, the kind of TV show, it's actually really quite good. It's on
Oh, the
Netflix,
gangster one you told me about. Yeah.
the gangster one, right? And my son was getting ready to go for a night out, and then one of his mates came up, right? And I was like to Geraldine, I was like, I think the car's just turned on our back on our drive. Hate that, right? But it turned out his mate was standing at the door for about a minute, and then I went and checked the door, and I was like, oh, right, Harry, come on in. So Harry sat down, and just as he sat down, two of the actors started like having sex, right? Like pure like rough sex, right? And I stood up to go into the kitchen to let the dogs out, and I was like, oh, there's nothing worse than watching a sex scene in front of your parents, never mind your best mate's parents.
Yeah, your
They
mate's
didn't know what to do. He
Yeah.
just sat there. The wife was sitting there raging, and I was just laughing. He's like, oh, I need to go. Nah, that's nothing more embarrassing. This
If
one.
you can't embarrass your kids, you've got to embarrass your kids, mate. But
Right.
it is like just strange, isn't it? The stuff that, I mean, I swear there's other things. Poltergeist 2, I was allowed to watch all of Poltergeist 2, which arguably is probably scarier than 1 because of
Yeah.
the creepy priest and all of that shit. But then my mum banned The Exorcist from the house because we were Catholic.
Oh,
we
okay.
haven't talked about Evil Dead actually, but eventually I think there was a long time where we just didn't go to church, grew out of religion a little bit. She was like, "Fuck it, let's watch it." We both sat there one night watching it, and we're like, "Is this it? Is this
Yeah.
what we've sort of put ourselves off for? Because this ain't that bad. We've watched worse."
It's like when you watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the 70s one, it's like,
Hmm.
why were people walking out the cinema like you're scared?
Yeah.
I've seen worse than a Friday night in the town. You know what I
My
mean? It's
mum
like,
said when The Exorcist first came out, they went to see it in the cinema, and she said it was like the scariest thing we've ever watched. I watched it when I was about like 9, and I fell asleep on the sofa watching it.
The same
mind
with
you,
the Omen
see,
films. The Omen films, creepy kid.
Yeah.
666, he's the spawn of Satan, banned from watching them. And then when you finally get around to it, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
mind you, my wife did leave the cinema when the Mummy came out because she thought it was too scary.
Oh, I love that
Well,
film.
hang on, the one with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerry, you wimp. I hope you heard that. Oh, you got your
No, she's
earphones
upstairs.
in.
No, she's
Well,
upstairs.
she can watch
No
it back.
doubt.
No, I love that film. It's cheesy.
Oh, it's like,
Great.
but you know what I'm looking forward to, right? Talking about scary movies before we wrap up the scary movies and go back to hobby. Do you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Scary Movie 6 or something coming out.
Yes.
That the trailer which is probably the best bits of the film. Looks fucking epic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those films are great. Like the first time I watched a scary movie, like the first one, you just sitting there like, "Ugh, it's perfect. It's the perfect lampooning."
Yeah.
The superhero movie. I don't know if you guys ever watched that.
Yeah.
Same thing, because it just ripped on the original Spider-Man so much.
Yeah.
There's in the trailer, there's a bit where the villain's like, "I've got titanium blades that can cut through diamonds." The hero replies, "I'm not wearing any diamonds." You're just like, eh? And in slow motion, he jumps to dodge in bullet time, dodge these blades, and catches them all in his arms and legs. Then they did the piss take of the dinner with Norman Osborn and Peter Parker are sitting opposite each other,
Yeah.
and a bit of blood drips on him. Or he looks at his wrist and sees the cut. But the villain sits there, he looks at his son, and is like, "Shit, we need to leave." And the son's like, "Why? The dinner's not been served." He just looks at him and says, "I've just shat my pants," and just walks off. And I was not expecting that. For an American film to use shat instead of shit, I was gone. There's just so many of those. A lot of those films can be bad, but when they're done perfect, I was like,
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking forward to Scary Movie 6 because they've not done one for so long.
Yeah.
And there's just so much stuff they can rip the piss out of,
Yeah.
which is going to be brilliant for triggering people. Cause there's nothing better than triggering people, in my opinion. Right, so let's get back to some hobbiness for the last 15 minutes because we kind of deviated off in movies again.
horror films are the big ones that derail us all the time. Don't like horror. Like we just love a horror movie chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. What is on your table right now that you're painting? Is there anything non-nurgle that you're painting as well?
So I'm halfway through the new Blight Kings. I've done 2 of them. I've got one sort of primed up, ready to go. The next thing I'm doing that's not nurgle related is actually a big statue type thing. So I like painting like the anime models.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've seen that in your kind of your
Yeah.
picture.
I've got
What is it
another one
about?
of the My Hero Academia ones come in. So I'm gonna try and do that.
And what is it with the anime that kind of drives you towards that?
It's
Have
just
you
because
always
I
been
like
into
the
anime?
animes. Pardon?
Have you always been into anime?
No, that was sort of, I got into that during lockdown. One of my ex's kids came back from school and was like, "Oh, we've one of my friends has watched this. Can we watch the movie?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." Sat there watching it and was like, "Oh, okay, I really like this," and it's just spiraled from there. So,
Was it the
So,
tentacle porn that really got you into it?
no.
um, My Hero Academia was the main one. That was the
Right.
first one. And then I started watching Attack on Titan. Fell in love with that. Now I think I'm halfway through Dragon Ball Z at the minute. I'm
Oh,
about halfway through that first watch. I've never seen it before. So,
so this is interesting, and I know obviously we said we come back to the hobby stuff, but there's a lot of good animes out there that
yeah.
also do. You can also find a lot of good busts and like
Yeah.
larger mod scale models to do. I know there's a Japanese guy on here I follow. I can't remember the name of him now; it's escaped me. But he does a lot of that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
and seeing how the painting it differs,
Yeah.
it's amazing because it makes you think outside the normal paint, wash, highlight, base.
Yeah. And it's the complete opposite scale because, like, doing
Mm.
the Nurgle, I'm like all messy, dirty, gross. Whereas going to the anime side of it, it's all clean, perfect lines.
Yeah, and your highlighting's got to be like proper
Yeah.
on point as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I know generally when we've had people on here who talk about painting bust and stuff, they say that. It,
Yeah.
and you both sort of said earlier when you're painting the larger models, it feels easier.
Yeah.
Well, I think with Mortarian, it kind of it's definitely opened my eyes on how easier it is. Like, if you make a mistake, it's easier to fix a mistake in a bigger model than a smaller model, I feel.
Yeah. And it's like on things like the Great Unclean one, you can see more of the details. You're
Yeah.
not sat with the model right up in your face
Yeah.
trying to find things.
Yeah. So I will be honest and say I don't know much about My Hero Academia. I know my wife's best mate loved it. But what sort of character are we talking about? Is it like one of the big bulky heroes? We talk tall statue, small thing, or
So from what I've heard, the guy that's printed it said she's pretty tall, and it's
okay.
one of the she's a female character, but she's got like a superpower. She can create like cannons and stuff out of her body. So, but she's like a half naked anime
Yeah,
lady.
yeah,
So
Of course she is. I mean, is there going to be anybody that's female in anime fully clothed? That's the only thing I know about anime is they all get massive boobs and they're all pretty much naked.
basically, yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah. I will say, unfortunately, due to the large market that it appeals to in Japan, that some of it is done a bit over the top.
yeah. There's a professional hero in My Hero Academia called Midnight, and she's basically a bondage dominatrix woman. She wears like leather suit, walks around with a whip.
Bloody hell! There we go. That's
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah,
Japan. That's all you can say, isn't it?
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. So
Describe Japan in one word. You know what I mean?
anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
anime.
anime.
Lol. So is that going to be your first foray into generally like going away from Warhammer into like a different thing, or we?
No, I've done a couple of other. So for Christmas, my other half got me a big. She's quite tall. It's Orin from Baldur's Gate. So I painted her just after Christmas, and I've done Bakugo already from My Hero Academia.
Okay,
So
cool.
this is like the third one into it.
So, and this always interests me as well, because you go from 28 mil to larger.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talk about you got a bit more room to play with, but how has going from small to large changed the way you approach it in a thought process? Because I know for myself, if I'm sitting down and I'm going to do some painting or hobby, and I kind of have to force myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you find that that's not the same? That because it's a bit bigger and you can see it a bit better, it's more...
And it's a complete change in sort of like style and stuff as well. So sometimes I'll sit there and go, I've been looking at green for like weeks. I need to do something else. So the anime ones sort of change it up a bit as well, which is nice.
And for someone looking to get into that side of modeling, scale model stuff, whether that be busts, anime stuff, Gundams, which are obviously out there all the bloody time, what advice would you give someone who's sitting on the fence that they want to try it but they're not sure?
Pick something that you know you'd like to do.
Okay.
So I was never gonna do anything other than Warhammer, but I was scrolling through Instagram and Bulkomancer came up. They do all the design and that, the 3D printed models. I saw the Orin model and went, oh, I'd like to paint that. Just because I like her in the game as well. And it was, I love her in the game. Painting her will be quite fun. And then when you finished it, you've got that sense of, I've done that. I've painted a character from a game. It's not it's not the same as like looking at a box art and going, oh, I can do that and change it up. Whereas with characters from games as well, you want to try and do it exactly as it should be.
Yeah, I can understand that, because the source material is proper well known and loved.
Yeah.
Now, when you're looking at something that's come out of a box like that, you can think, I can try and copy that, or I can do it a bit differently.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a proper well known franchise, you have to be a little bit more true to it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like the Warhammer stuff, all my Nurgle things, I try and do kind of box art, but there's bits like all the blue fabric on mine. I've gone, that's what I want to make it mine. So every single one of my Nurgle and Death Guard miniatures has got blue fabric on it somewhere.
Would you?
Cool, because,
sorry. No, go on, Dom. Go on.
Did it take you a long time to set on your scheme, or was it a lot of back and forth until you got it?
There's a lot of back and forth, I think. So when I started with like the flayed ones, I went, I'm going to do them exactly as they're supposed to be, but because they were my first models, they look a bit shit. So, and then Nurgle, I was always going to do it so it looked completely box art. And then I didn't have one of the colours I wanted, so I was like, just going to do it blue. And then it stuck, so I was like, I like this blue, I'll do it blue.
There is that thing though, isn't it? It's like when you're looking up a tutorial and it goes like, this is the colours that you need, and you get like every colour by bar one obscure colour, and you're like, what can I use to substitute that? And then you don't have that, you're like, fuck it, I'll just randomly pick a purple.
Yeah, just wing it.
Yeah.
I find that especially that, because, let's face it, this is quite an expensive addiction that we've all got.
Yeah.
When you sit there and you're like, oh, what this? Let's watch a tutorial, and they list 20 base paints, and you're like, I'll do one. I don't need to paint the same bit with 20 different colours.
Yeah.
That's another big deal as well, and there seems to be a very much, obviously I know with the companies that make the paint, they're going to push you to use our system. We paint, shape, wash. Use our system. We've got a triad, so you can 1, 2, 3. But it's just like you guys have said. It's just a case of, I've got this. Fuck it, that'll do.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
But I've done it as well. I've never followed a tutorial. I've just taught myself everything that I've done. So,
what would be, again, on that point, if you've taught you self-taught your bits and bobs, when you've then gone and looked at the way people have done something, Is there anything that you've looked at and thought, I would have done that differently, or, oh, I like that, I'm nicking it?
Yeah, so there's stuff like, I don't know what it is, when people paint Space Marines and they've got the chunky edge highlight in, something about it I really, really, really don't like.
I five.
Not that I don't like it's a talent. You've done these really straight, lovely lines. I don't think it looks right.
No, I
It's one of
agree.
those things. It's like I will do little edge highlights on my models, like bits of fabric and bits on the armor, but I don't know, the chunky edge highlights I just don't like.
No, I agree. I just don't like edge highlighting. I've not got the patience for it. But I don't think sometimes when you've got, like, if we're using the example, a Space Marine, if you're painting them in a specific way, why do you have to have this process that you follow what they tell you to do? Like, okay, well, they're fighting in the night, so there's no light to reflect edge highlights on. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Also, as well, Space Marines don't have as much trim as what Chaos Marines do, and I think everybody should have to paint trim. Because trim, especially on the Thousand Bastard and Sons, man, there's just too much trim. I'm really regretting taking that bunch of Rubric Marines off a Barry for nothing, but I do like getting stuff for free. But honestly,
You
there's
know
just
what?
so much trim.
Here's a special tip, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, Jenny, but if there's anything that you've got like trim on, base it and spray it the trim color first.
Yeah.
So spray them gold and then work backwards.
Yeah. But I'm the other way. I like painting trim. I want to paint a Helldrake.
Oh, you're
You're weird, man.
fucking
The
Helldrake.
salt and vinegar of Warhammer models, a Helldrake.
That
They
is
do,
like
they do look like
trim to the
packets of
max.
salt and vinegar crisps at times. They only make 1,000 tons, don't they? They're blue and shiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would just be torture. That would be a good way of just getting people to confess crimes, is getting them to paint trim on a Helldrake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's just
tell them
covered in it.
Don't get the actual paint on them. Don't get the gold on the mini, or you have to start the whole thing again.
So we've got our first question because Graham's refusing to ask his question, and it's from Mr. Internet himself, Workgate Studios, who you can see on such and such a date between 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock at number 106 at some event that he's going to. Check his story.
I'll plug in.
Adepticon or something. Check him out. He looks small in his posters, but apparently he's 6 foot, but we'll see. Question for your guest. What would you like to see Nurgle Demon-wise to expand the current lineup? We do need another demon, because we've got Rotigus and we've got the Great Unclean One.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a Great Clean One.
Have you seen
someone did
someone
that.
has done a great clean one?
Yeah, it's horrific. It looks like my mate's wife.
Horrible. I hate it.
I'll say that now. It looks like my mate's wife. It freaks me out. I've sent it to my mates. They all know it's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. But they have basically filed and sanded all the detail off it, green stuffed it all.
Yeah.
And if I'm being polite, it kind of looks more like Danny DeVito when he's in the episode of Always Sunny where he climbs out of the couch.
Brilliant.
No, the other one where he's lying around on the floor saying he just wants to be pure. That bit.
Yeah.
Or when they can't get sober, but they think
Yeah,
they're quarantined, but they're
they've got yeah. Yeah, it's horrific, but it's very good. It is very good. I think. Am I dreaming?
What about you, Jenny? What would you like to see?
I don't know, because like they've got the variety of, they've got the bigger models, they've got smaller models. You've got Mortarion, who is probably one of the most intricate Nurgle models you're ever going to get. I like that they've gone with a lot of the like horse style models. So they're bringing animals into it, like the Sloven Knights, Harbinger of Decay. The Harbinger of Decay was one of my favourite models to paint, because I think the horse adds another element to it. So it's not just green rotting skin. You've got the horse coloured.
Yeah.
Change it up a little bit. I like that style of where they're going. So if they could bring more of that type of thing into it, be quite nice. Like Nurgle dogs would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool. That's a
It
very
would
good
be
shout.
cool. Yeah.
You could like get them for every faction on you could have like obviously they would really work well with corn. I mean you're
Yeah.
thinking Resident Evil dolls right away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
there are corn dogs, I think, but am I? I don't know if I'm dreaming this, and it might be an older model, or I don't know if it's in the current local range. But wasn't there one that was basically a giant snail or plague toads? The
Yeah.
old Forge World plague toads. Toads were amazing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, there
was it the Horticulus Slimax? The like snail. I love that model.
was-
Haven't got
I,
it yet though.
yeah, I think given the whole idea of it, it's meant to be the garden and nurgle. And
Yeah.
I hate gardening, but like more creepy crawlies.
Yeah. More bugs and stuff. Be
Yeah,
quite
like a
nice.
big undead earwig.
Oh, yes. I like it.
You know, when you always lift up your plant pot and they're always scurrying around, just like one of them. Big,
Nurgle Woodlouse.
yeah.
It'd be cool.
But they would be more Tyranids though.
No, because you do it for AOS and then just say, oh, you can use that in 40k too. But
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if you guys played the bolt gun game, like where Sam's mentioned it, but the Forge World years ago had giant plague frogs, which were amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they're just different.
Yeah.
And I think that's the sort of stuff, like, it just needs, like, you look at like, you look at, like, there's always nurglings, there's always maggots.
Yeah.
What about something else?
Flies. Yeah.
Yeah, stick some other sort of creepy crawly in there.
Yeah,
A big eel, like a millipede.
Yeah. Like a Nurgle model with like a millipede round it. Or
Yeah, just something different.
Yeah.
And you always
Right,
like
so-
millipedes eat dead leaves and shit anyway. So it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. The whole, like you said, garden and Nurgle thing. Put more garden elements into it.
Yeah.
Be really cool.
Sign me up. I can come up with ideas.
So we might as well ask Graham's question because they said ask the Primarch question.
I'll go and ask you. All right, Graham, cheers, man. We love you, really.
So the Primarch question is, what Primarch would you bring back alive or dead into the back as a model to paint or cannon or whatever?
It'd have to be Morty.
Would you like an updated version of Morty then, like more fucked up than
Yeah.
the pretty boy that he is?
Yeah.
That would work. I think, I mean, the big ugly moth that he is cool.
Yeah.
But again, there's other bugs and creepy crawlies that you could get inspiration from, I think.
I
Like-
think even having more cracked armor and more of his flesh showing
Yeah.
like
Because he
properly
is very
decaying.
covered up. Like most Death Guard and Nurgle models, they've got some form of skin showing. Whereas Morty, it's like his face and his hands, and that's about it.
There's a wee bit in his back, but there's not much. Like
No.
there's not much flesh to be painting on him. To be honest with you,
You could even change the wings a little bit
Yeah.
to make them look like different wings.
Yeah.
And Graham also asks, which one would you kill off forever?
See, I can't even say which one I'd kill off because I'm not that up on the lore yet. So
Looking
one
at the
thing I
range,
need-
look. I tell you, here's another way of spinning that. Then, looking at the range of the bigger Primarch and all of those sorts of models that we've got, which one do you look at and think that's the worst one? I wouldn't want to have a go on. If you say Magnus the Red, I'm leaving.
No, I love Magnus. I want to paint Magnus so bad. I don't like. Who don't I like?
he's already been doing much. Hang about his bikes. You know what I mean?
No, I like Angron too. Angron's good. I like all the heresy ones, and not so much loyalist ones. I like Lionel Johnson though.
See, when you say Lionel Johnson, I just want to say Lionel Blair. That always just pops into my head. Look at him playing Give Me a Clue.
How many old quiz shows can we reference in one episode? Should we just play a game in a couple of weeks? I don't know if you've seen the film Super Troopers. See how many times we can say meow during an interview.
Meow? See, they're making a third one. or they've made it. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, it's going to be good.
Right, folks, I think that's a good time to end it on Super Troopers, because it's
Say it again for me.
9:05.
Say it again for me.
Super Troopers.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Listen, Casey, I know roughly where you live. I will
Roughly.
hunt you down.
Shit.
Shenanigans. I know if he says shenanigans one more time, I'm going to pistol whip him. Hey, Barbara, what's that restaurant you like all the cheese and goofy shit? Shenanigans?
Yeah.
Right, folks. I just want to say big thanks to Jenny for coming on and chatting
Thanks, Jenny.
to us. Even though I think we did most of the talking this episode, I apologise, Jenny.
It's okay. It's fine.
So we did do most of the talking. See, you fell into the trap there, Jenny. You went, no, guys, he's well. But we did. If for anybody that doesn't follow you, or if you want to give anybody a shout out, anybody you want to do that to?
Now's your chance.
There's a few people. Mindful Miniatures Club. I think he's great. He's doing so many good things. I know he's not been on social media much anymore, but 40k Phil, he's a lovely guy. He's so helpful with everyone in the community and stuff. So shout out to them.
There is a bit of that going about just now. There's a lot of people that maybe 2 or 3 years ago are now, like Grim Boutique and 40k Phil. There's so many people that have just went so quiet the last wee while, and we all hope that they come back because they do make us look like shite painters when they put up their Picassos and Monets. If people want to use your discount code on Orange Brushes, what is your discount code? Do you have a discount code?
It's J Paints Minis.
And you'll get 10% off and free shipping if you're in the UK. But if you want to use the OG and the best, then obviously go to Inquisition. We're not saying that your brushes will arrive quicker, but they might.
Well, you never know.
You just never know. What to do is order one set, use Jenny's, and we'll order one set using ours. See which ones arrives first. Whatever one doesn't arrive first, give it to somebody in the street. You know what I mean? Give it to your local tramp.
Or order the whole range in a couple of different orders and use multiple codes.
There you go. Help
Share the
everyone.
heart.
You might as well use Dave, 41st Millennium Dave as well, because he's always sharing our stuff.
Yeah, he's good egg.
And he needs a hair dye because he's going quite grey, and he needs to stay in that grey fox lifestyle that he lives in. Folks, that is us for another week. We have the guy was in the chat earlier as well. I can't remember his name now.
We are very professional. We know exactly where we are next week.
But he sent me a message asking if we could make it 8 o'clock next week because he lives in Canada.
That's fine.
And so we're ready. If you've got any questions on rules, Shane, I know you're like to double down on the rules. Throw any questions into him next week, Join, because he does a lot of kind of first. He does those videos. Did you know that you can have 500 hits from a warp dragon if, and he explains it all to you.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have him on next week.
Good way to insult next week's guest by doing an impression of him at the end of this week. We don't do that all the time. That's a new feature.
That is my generic English accent, and he's English. If he was Scottish and he came from the Highlands, I'd be speaking like that, Maybe that is maybe insulting. But this guy's English, but he lives in Canada, so that's why we're going to be a wee bit later because of the time difference.
And next week, me and mine will log on at different times, so it's not suspicious for you. There you go.
Or we should bring him on as a guest.
Yes.
And
take the hint, Martin. Take the hint.
Yeah. Folks,
anyway,
I'm getting the evil eye from Perry Jerry because I think she knows I'm talking nonsense and she's away up with her toast. Folks, we'll see you next week. Jenny, thanks again for coming on. Sorry that we've kind of talked about horror films for like 40 minutes. That was Casey's fault. We'll hope to bring you back on later if you're up for it. Not later tonight, obviously, because it's bedtime. But maybe in the future.
Yeah.
But not tonight because it's way by Casey's bedtime. Folks, we'll see you next week with our guest, which his name has slipped me. But if you wait, I can maybe find his name in the chat.
Oh, I got to go
First Turn Tactics, that's his name. Give him a follow. But everybody follow Jenny. Let's get up to 50,000 subscribers so she can get free shit from Games Workshop. She might give us some free stuff. Probably not. See, folks, I'm rambling on here. I'll speak to you next week. Have a good one. Love you all. Even you, Casey. Bye.
Oh, very welcome.
Bye.
Bye bye. Why not?